Saudi Arabia's archaeological treasures, austere mud brick palaces, and oases have long been hidden. So, I'll bring you along with us as we explore the majestic place called
Al-Ula!
The sun is up, and that means it is the beginning of a new adventure. It is 7:30 in the morning, and we are ready to embark on our first stop. But before that, we have to understand first what is Nabateans and what are their influences on this region. Nabateans were an ancient Arab people who inhabited northern Arabia. They were desert-dwelling nomads turned master merchants, controlling the incense and spice trade routes through Jordan. Alongside with them, camel-drawn caravans laden with piles of fragrant sugar, ginger, and cotton passed through Hegra. Nabateans become suppliers of aromatics such as frankincense and myrrh that were highly prized in religious ceremonies. That is considerably the reason why they are wealthy and influential on their era. Now let's go back to 2023. So we arrive here in the site and they will offer you a complimentary drinks, water and juice. You can choose from two types of juices. They have pomegranate and lemonade. So we choose pomegranate, and you can choose also from their sweets. They have dried pineapple, dried apricot, and then dates. They're very famous dates, and we tried their dates, and it's different from the locals, as what they said, because it is from the oasis of Hegra. And here we are just patiently waiting for the tour guide to instruct us of the things that we are not allowed to do or the things that we are allowed to do. And so we arrive on our first mountain, that is Jabal al-Ahmar, which means the Red Mountain. Here, it hides the Nabatean secrets that highlight the burial rituals of the inhabitants of the ancient time. It contains 18 tombs, but recently, in 2014, after a big storm, they discover another tomb lurking beneath the sand, and in the tomb, it consists of 80 bodies buried in the same family tree. This rocky sand mountain is over 2,000 years old. This was made before Christ. And here, there is a falcon in the facade of the tomb. This symbolizes the passage of the soul to the celestial region, where it becomes divine. Falcon in Nabateans has a special position. They could fly high up to reach God and seen as connecting people with the deity. That's what they believe in. And as we dive deeper into the history of this place, we become more ecstatic to discover more evidences that they, the Nabateans, really colonizes this place. And now we are on a rush to hop on in our bus so that we reach our next destination on time. And the next is Qasr al-Farid. This historical landmark believed to have been the tomb of General Layan ibn Qusa. This may be an evidence that the owner of this tomb was an immensely wealthy and important individual in Nabatean society. This tomb is the only single tomb erected in a single mountain, and it is chiseled out of the rock from top down. And you will be surprised that even though the architecture of this tomb is unraveled, it appears that the entire structure was never been completed. And the facade of the mountain solely depends on the owner's wish. And this has 4 pilasters on its facade, 1 on each side and 2 additional ones in the middle. But sadly, they believe that the general was killed in a battlefield and his remains did not reach this tomb. So up until today, no one has occupied this tomb.
Yay! She allowed us to go with her in the golf.
I think what stood out most is from this awesome people. They're very friendly and they're very accommodating. Especially our tour guide, Sahar. She is actually the best. Jabal al-Banat, which means the Girls' Mountain. It consists of 31 tombs carved into rocky sandstone. The name refers to the number of tombs owned or commissioned by or for women. They were pagan back then, which means they worship statues and symbols. And here, later I will show you, there's a place specific where they will put all belongings, jewelries, any possessions that was owned by the deceased, because they believed the deceased lived on and must be fed after death. They thought that the afterlife was a place where you could eat and be merry with your friends and family. And if you noticed, all tombs are above the mountain because they believe that the remains are not allowed to be buried on the ground. Instead, it should be buried in the highest mountain for the reason that they believe the higher the place it is situated, the closer for them to the Creator or to God. And while walking, I saw a figurine. And actually, they said Nabateans believe that these figurines are able to protect the dead body and play the role in an afterlife. And by the way, I will show you the inside of a tomb, or the exact picture of a real tomb. And in here, you can notice a lot of rectangular boxes. This is where they will put grave goods, or usually personal possessions like pottery, metal tools, then favorite food, or everyday objects. This supplies the smooth of the deceased journey into an afterlife, or it can also be a symbol of offering to God. And now we are heading to Mount Etlib, the highest mountain in Hebron. And on the right side, upon entering the mountain, there is a rock-cut chamber known as Diwan, which means living room, where rituals or elite banqueting and political discussions took place. It is a carve around 12 feet tall, so if they speak, their voice will be very clear and very strong. They choose Mount Etlib since it is the highest of all the mountains here in Hebron. And it is believed that the highest the mountain it is best for ritual practices. And they said that the Nabateans will not allow you to enter this room if you are not Nabatean. If you will do, you have to cleanse yourself by cleaning your hands and then feet on this hole, because there is holy water before on that area. So you have to clean your hands and feet before entering. But it was believed that if you're Christian, you are not allowed to enter this room. And here, this is what you call Sikh, which means entrance, which includes on its sides carved antiquities and Nabatean inscriptions, revealing ancient religious rituals. That includes the three goddesses, the Al-Ula, Al-Manat, and Al-Anat. And on this side, this is where they carve the symbol of the three goddesses. And also, if you can notice that there's a lot of inscription here beside the Sikh. These inscriptions, among the longest texts known in Nabatean epigraphy, dated back to between 1 AD